You know that feeling when you're watching a train wreck in slow motion? That's what's happening at ESPN right now. Rex Ryan didn't just step on a landmine. He built the landmine, armed it, and then tap danced on it live on national television. He just detonated his own career, and the fallout is a full-blown 5-alarm credibility crisis that's got the entire sports world reeling. Forget the scoreboards. The only number that matters right now is the body count on Rex Ryan's career. ESPN just lit a match, tossed it into a puddle of gasoline, and is now desperately trying to pretend their entire studio isn't about to go up in flames. And the man holding the empty gas can with a guilty grin on his face, none other than Rex Ryan. He went on an unhinged, rambling tirade about Shedeur Sanders. And in doing so, he didn't just drop some questionable football takes. He may have detonated his entire career. Imagine the scene. High-level executives at ESPN, mid-sip of their morning latte, suddenly choking as their phones explode with alerts. Their highest paid analyst is going rogue, spewing baseless gossip disguised as expert analysis, and the internet is sharpening its pitchforks. This isn't just another hot take gone wrong. This is a full-blown credibility crisis. Rex Ryan thought he was dropping a truth bomb that would expose a lazy, entitled rookie. Instead, the only thing he exposed was himself, painting a pathetic picture of a washed-up coach so desperate for relevance that he'd resort to character assassination. He aimed his cannon at a rookie quarterback who has done nothing but patiently wait his turn, and the blowback was so immediate, so ferocious that ESPN had no choice but to hit the panic button. So buckle up, because we're diving headfirst into the meltdown that has the sports world reeling. A scandal juicier than any reality show, complete with backstabbing, mystery sources, and a quiet rookie who is about to get the last laugh. Let's set the stage for this absolute train wreck. Rex Ryan, with all the subtlety of a foghorn in a library, plants himself in front of an ESPN camera and decides it's the perfect time to invent his own twisted fantasy world. In this bizarre dimension, Shedeur Sanders, the rookie quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, isn't a dedicated student of the game. Oh no, in Rex's world, Shedeur is the villain of the story, a disrespectful, lazy punk who thinks he's too cool for school. According to the Gospel of Rex, Shedeur isn't grinding. He isn't studying the playbook. He's just lounging in the back of the meeting room with his arms crossed, radiating an aura of entitlement so powerful it could probably power the stadium lights. "It's an embarrassment," Rex bellowed, his voice dripping with manufactured outrage. He painted this vivid picture of Shedeur Sanders, a kid who should be sitting in the front row trying to learn the playbook, instead acting like the NFL owes him something. He called him out, not for his play on the field, because, well, he hasn't played much. He called him out for his posture, his seating arrangement, his perceived lack of performative humility. Let that sink in. A former NFL coach, a man paid millions to provide insightful analysis, dedicated a segment of national television to complaining about where a third-string quarterback sits during team meetings. This wasn't analysis. It was a public shaming based on what exactly? Here's the kicker, the detail that turns this from a bad take into a laughable lie. Rex Ryan hasn't been inside the Cleveland Browns facility since 2012. He's operating on intel that's over a decade old. He has no current sources, no inside track, no secret mole feeding him information from the locker room. He's just making it up. He's spinning a narrative out of thin air because it fits the dramatic, click-worthy storyline he wants to sell. The cocky young star who needs to be humbled. He claims Shedeur was acting too cool to care, disrespecting the process and failing to put in the work required to be QB1. The disrespect wasn't coming from Shedeur. It was flowing directly from Rex's mouth. A torrent of unverified garbage aimed at a player who has, by all public accounts, been a model rookie. The problem for Rex is that reality tells a completely different story. Shedeur Sanders has been doing exactly what smart, promising rookie quarterbacks are supposed to do. He's been patient, he's been disciplined, he's been learning the system from the veterans ahead of him, waiting for his opportunity. This is the blueprint for success in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith. Aaron Rodgers waited his turn behind Brett Favre. Jordan Love spent years on the bench behind Rodgers. This is literally how you develop a franchise quarterback. You let them learn, absorb, and prepare without the crushing pressure of starting from day one. But when Shedeur Sanders follows this exact same path, Rex Ryan and his cronies frame it as a crime. Suddenly, patience is laziness, and learning from the sideline is a sign of disrespect. The hypocrisy is staggering. You have starting quarterbacks across the league throwing interceptions that cost their teams games, fumbling away playoff chances, and collecting massive paychecks for mediocre play. Yet, the national media conversation led by Rex Ryan is focused on a third stringer's seating preference. What's next? Are they going to fine him for using the wrong colored highlighter on his playbook? Is there a rule that says your notebook must be blessed by a former coach before it's considered valid? This entire premise is so fundamentally ridiculous that it collapses under the slightest scrutiny. Rex didn't bring a truth bomb. He brought a water pistol filled with nonsense. And now he's shocked that everyone is laughing at him, not with him. The moment Rex Ryan's ridiculous rant hit the airwaves, the internet did what it does best. It declared war. The backlash wasn't just a slow trickle of disagreement. It was a digital tidal wave of pure, unadulterated roasting that slammed into Rex with the force of an all-pro linebacker. It was a dumpster fire of epic proportions, and Rex himself was sitting right in the middle of it, covered in gasoline. Fans, analysts, bloggers, and even former players immediately descended upon social media to tear his argument to shreds. The clip of his meltdown went viral within minutes, and the comment sections became a brutal battleground where Rex's credibility was publicly executed. People were ruthless. They called him a clown, a hack, a washed-up coach desperately clinging to the spotlight. They pointed out the glaring flaw in his logic. How could he possibly know what's happening in the Browns meeting rooms when he hasn't been there in over a decade? The phrase, "come with receipts," became a rallying cry. Fans demanded proof, a source, anything to back up his wild accusations. Of course, Rex had nothing. He had offered up a steaming pile of gossip with the authority of hard news, and the public wasn't buying it for a second. What made the backlash even more delicious was the source of much of the defense: Cleveland Browns fans. This is a fan base known for being one of the toughest, most critical, and loudest in all of sports. They will turn on a player or coach in a heartbeat if they feel they aren't giving their all. Yet here they were, flooding Twitter and sports forums to stand up for their rookie quarterback. They saw through the nonsense. They knew this wasn't about football. It was a personal attack, a media-driven hit job. The fact that Shedeur had won over one of the league's most demanding fan bases without even starting a game spoke volumes. It was a testament to his character and professionalism, and it made Rex's claims look even more foolish and disconnected from reality. But the firestorm was just getting started. This is when the story took a spicy conspiratorial turn. Tony Rizzo, a legitimate Cleveland sports insider with actual sources inside the building, jumped into the fray. He listened to Rex's rant and immediately smelled a rat. He posed the question that turned the entire scandal on its head. Rex Ryan didn't just invent this out of nowhere. Somebody is feeding him this garbage. And just like that, the narrative shifted from a story about a bad take to a full-blown whodunit. Who was the mole? Who inside the NFL ecosystem had a motive to sabotage a rookie quarterback and was cowardly enough to use Rex Ryan as their public mouthpiece? The internet went into overdrive. Suddenly, everyone was a detective. Was it a disgruntled coach within the Browns organization? Someone threatened by Shedeur's talent and potential? Was it the agent of another quarterback on the roster trying to poison the well and create a toxic environment for his client's competition? Or maybe, just maybe, it was someone higher up, a front office figure playing a game of 4D chess, leaking negative stories to manage expectations or control the narrative. The speculation ran wild, turning the scandal into a high-stakes mystery. This new angle made Rex Ryan look even more pathetic. He wasn't just a guy with a bad opinion. He was a pawn, a puppet being used to spread malicious gossip. He was out here acting like James Bond in cleats, hinting at his secret sources and classified intel, when in reality, he was just a gullible mouthpiece for someone else's dirty work. The best part? Not a single person from the Cleveland Browns organization came out to back him up. Head coach Kevin Stefanski remained silent. The front office said nothing. The silence was deafening, and it served as a quiet confirmation that Rex was completely on his own. A lone wolf howling baseless accusations into the void. The internet had not only rejected his message, but had also begun to hunt for his anonymous cowardly source, turning Rex from the attacker into the star witness of a conspiracy he himself had revealed. While Rex Ryan's career was going up in smoke, the target of his attack, Shedeur Sanders, remained the calm eye of the storm. Let's be brutally honest about what's happening here. The level of scrutiny being aimed at this young man is not just unfair, it's borderline obsessive. He is a rookie, a 5th-round draft pick who hasn't even started a single NFL game. Yet he is catching more media heat and facing more character assassination attempts than veteran quarterbacks who are actively derailing their franchises on a weekly basis. This isn't about football. This has never been about football. This is about a system, an old guard that is deeply uncomfortable with a player like Shedeur Sanders. Why him? The answer is simple. His last name. He is the son of Deion Primetime Sanders, a man who revolutionized his position, redefined swagger, and built a legacy that transcended the sport. That name carries an immense weight of expectation, and for some, a deep-seated resentment. Shedeur didn't enter the league as an anonymous rookie. He walked in with a spotlight already fixed on him, a target painted on his back by those who are threatened by confidence, by legacy, and by a new generation that refuses to play by their outdated rules. The old school talking heads want rookies to be silent, submissive, and grateful. They want them to keep their heads down, say the right things, and disappear until year 3. Shedeur Sanders is not that guy. He is confident. He is authentic. He is unapologetically himself. And that rattles the establishment to its core. The double standards are laughably transparent. You have other rookie quarterbacks across the league, Cam Ward, Jackson Dart, Dylan Gabriel, all doing the exact same thing as Shedeur. They're sitting in meetings, some in the front row, some in the back. They're learning the playbook, posting on social media, and living their lives. And what do we hear about them? Crickets. Nothing. Not a single analyst is questioning their seating arrangements. No one is launching a federal investigation into their study habits. The media circus is reserved exclusively for Shedeur. Every week there's a new manufactured controversy. One week he's not focused enough, the next he's too flashy, the week after he doesn't respect the game. The attacks are always vague, conveniently timed to pop up when the Browns hit a rough patch, and never ever backed by concrete evidence. It's a calculated, strategic campaign designed to poison the well before he even gets a chance to drink from it. This is what people like Rex Ryan and his anonymous sources fail to understand. Shedeur Sanders has been forged in this fire. He has lived his entire life under a microscope. From high school to Jackson State to Colorado, he has faced down the haters, the doubters, and the critics at every single step. Pressure doesn't break this kid, it builds him. He has heard the whispers, seen the hate, and felt the immense weight of his father's legacy on his shoulders. And he has consistently responded with poise, performance, and a calm, unshakable confidence. While the media machine turns out its lazy, recycled narratives, Shedeur is in the film room, on the practice field, putting in the work. His silence is his power, and his focus is lethal. They are attacking his character because, frankly, they can't attack his game. The one time he did get significant snaps against the Panthers in the preseason, he came in cold with 0 first-team reps and immediately started slinging darts with the precision of a seasoned veteran. That wasn't luck, that was preparation meeting opportunity, and that is what truly terrifies the old guard. They can't stand a young, talented, confident black quarterback who dares to be great and refuses to apologize for it. The fallout from Rex Ryan's on-air implosion was swift and severe, transforming from a social media bonfire into a full-blown corporate crisis for ESPN. This wasn't just an analyst making a gaffe. This was a complete breakdown of journalistic integrity on the biggest sports network in the world. You can practically picture the chaos unfolding behind the scenes in Bristol. Phones ringing off the hook, PR teams scrambling for talking points, and high-level executives in a state of sheer panic asking one simple question: how did we let this happen? Rex Ryan, in his desperate quest for a viral moment, had dragged the worldwide leader in sports through the mud, and now they were facing a storm of their own making. The pressure mounted from all sides. Fans were calling for his job. Credible journalists were openly mocking his lack of sources. The Players Association was likely taking note of an analyst publicly fabricating stories to attack one of its members. ESPN was backed into a corner. They could either stand behind their guy and see their own reputation torched alongside his, or they could take action. According to inside whispers and the sudden conspicuous absence of Rex from their programming, they chose the latter. While no official statement used the word suspension, the message was clear. Rex Ryan was benched. He was sent to the penalty box to think about what he'd done. A quiet behind-the-scenes timeout designed to let the firestorm die down. For Rex, this is more than just a slap on the wrist. It's a catastrophic blow to what was left of his credibility. He will forever be remembered as the guy who got suspended for telling lies about a rookie seating chart. Every future analysis he provides will be viewed through a lens of suspicion. Every time he claims to have an inside source, audiences will roll their eyes, remembering the time his source was seemingly his own overactive imagination. He gambled his reputation on a cheap shot, and he lost spectacularly. The clip of his unhinged rant will live on in internet infamy, destined to be replayed over and over again as a prime example of expert analysis gone horribly wrong. When Shedeur Sanders finally gets his chance to start and inevitably succeeds, that clip will age like milk in a heat wave, a haunting reminder of just how wrong and how malicious Rex was. This entire saga serves as a massive reality check for the sports media landscape. Analysts can't just throw wild, unsubstantiated accusations around on national television without consequences. ESPN has a responsibility to its viewers to ensure that its personalities are dealing in facts, not fiction. Rex Ryan didn't just cross a line, he took a sledgehammer to it. His actions have forced a necessary conversation about accountability in sports media. The days of letting loudmouths run wild with personal vendettas disguised as analysis need to end. The demand from the public is clear. Do better. Vet your sources, stop rewarding gossip with airtime, and if one of your own goes rogue, hold them accountable. Rex Ryan's downfall is a cautionary tale, a warning shot to every other talking head thinking of taking a cheap shot at a young player. The audience is smarter than you think, the backlash is faster than you can imagine, and the internet never, ever forgets. As the dust begins to settle on Rex Ryan's career implosion and ESPN's frantic damage control, the narrative inevitably circles back to the young man at the center of it all, Shedeur Sanders. And here's the beautiful poetic irony of this entire mess. Every false headline, every lazy accusation, and every ridiculous critique has only made him stronger. The media circus intended to break his spirit and derail his career before it even began has had the opposite effect. It has galvanized a fan base around him, exposed the biases of the old guard, and set the stage for one of the most anticipated rookie debuts in recent memory. Shedeur doesn't need to say a word in his own defense. His work ethic, his poise, and his quiet, unshakable confidence speak volumes. While the critics are barking, he's grinding. While the talking heads are spinning their narratives, he's in the film room studying, preparing, and waiting. His moment is coming, and when it does, the truth will be undeniable. Spoken not in words, but in tight window throws, in game-winning drives, and in the calm leadership he'll bring to the huddle. The vindication won't come from a press conference or a social media clapback. It will come on the field under the bright lights, where narratives die and greatness is born. This story is far from over. It has exposed a deep-seated issue within sports media, a system that still struggles to deal with young, confident athletes, particularly black quarterbacks, who refuse to conform to an outdated mold. It's a wake-up call for networks like ESPN to demand a higher standard of integrity, and for fans to continue holding them accountable. We, the viewers, must continue to call out the fake narratives, to question the anonymous sources, and to support the players who earn their respect through dedication and performance, not through performative humility. Shedeur Sanders is a symbol of a new era. He represents a generation that will not be silenced, that will not be defined by the lazy stereotypes of the past. He is built for this moment, forged in the fires of scrutiny and ready to prove everyone wrong. And when that day comes, when he steps onto the field as the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, it will be more than just a football game. It will be the final chapter in a saga of media malpractice and the first chapter in the story of a star's ascent. All the noise, all the gossip, all the lies will fade into oblivion, silenced by the undeniable sound of a perfect spiral hitting its target. So now the question is over to you. Are you Team Shedeur ready to watch him prove all the haters wrong? Or are you still buying into the nonsense being peddled by the likes of Rex Ryan? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this conversation is just getting started. This isn't just about one player, it's about the future of football and the integrity of the media that covers it. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay on top of this unfolding drama, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell. This story is just getting started, and trust me, you are not going to want to miss what comes next. We'll see you on the next one.